I'd just like to show you this because I found that I've got some slightly thicker kiln shelves for the front loader, and I'd never used them before. I got it with the kiln, and so I've just taken them off the rack and found that actually there's quite a lot of glaze little bits, and this one hasn't had any backwash put on it. That's another one of them over there that has had backwash put on it. And if I fold that one down, I can see there's quite a few little lumps of glaze on it here and there. Nothing like as bad as this one though. Have a look at this. Now this is out of the big top loader, and there's obviously been a huge flow of glaze over that, and they've managed to save the shelf. And I haven't put any backwash on that because I've made sure that there's nothing flaking there, and I do use that shelf, but I just backwash the other side of it. And even that one has had quite a bit of damage done to it by, you can see those craters there have all been caused by having to chip off bits of glaze that have arrived on the shelf. Well, you can avoid that from happening in the first place, and these shelves are really expensive, so I've just used a cold chisel. This is a brick chisel, and I've just used that to chip the remainder of this off here. So there's a couple of tiny little specks on it now, but nothing, very serious. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to put a coat of backwash on that. I just make sure you can see it, and right, well, I've got the backwash in a bucket here, and I'm just going to put it on with a paintbrush. So this is the best side of this shelf. There's a little bit of damage on the other side of it, but it's not too bad. And I think actually I think this is probably the better side, but that's fine. I'll leave that like that and backwash the other side, because I don't want to risk anything coming off the underside of the shelf, because it causes a lot of damage, and this stuff, when you've got to put it on quite thick. Look, when it gets old, it crazes and bits fall off it. So if it's on the upper side of the shelf, that really doesn't matter too much, but if it's underneath it, it will matter. So I've usually put a couple of coats of this on, and just slop it on with a brush. Get a good coating all over the surface. You don't have to do the sides, better if you don't. And just do the surface on which you're going to place your glazed ware or your biscuit ware, doesn't really matter which. But the good thing about this is you can keep putting it on and refreshing it every now and again, and it kind of helps with that basic hygiene really of firing and keeping things clean and free from if everything's dirty in the kiln, you can't tell half the time what's what the mess is and whether it's likely to cause a problem inside. Don't forget the atmosphere in the kiln will go up to 1300 Celsius in a high porcelain or stoneware firing, and that's hot enough to turn stuff into gas, and also to make stuff go floppy or even liquid, and any glaze at that temperature is obviously going to go liquid and flow. So if you do have an upset, it's better to upset it on top of backwash than it is on top of a very expensive kiln shelf. Now when that dries off, it'll go white and we'll be able to see it nice and clearly, and then we can put another coat on it. I don't know what that costs, that kiln shelf, but I think if you had to go out and buy another one, it's probably going to be about £40, you know, $50, somewhere around there. Would that be about right? I think it is. I bought a set for this kiln over here, and I've got a glaze firing loaded up there. I've got 4 shelves left over, so I must have about 6 in there. We've got some quite big articles on the top, and actually I'm going to take that shelf out because it's a fairly slim shelf, and I use these mostly for tiles, flatware, and I'm going to put that one back in instead because it's a good 1/4 of an inch thicker, and I got quite a large article on that. I've got to be careful when I load up on that top shelf because right at the back, and I don't know, probably don't think you can really see it, but anyway, the thermocouple's sticking in there, and I don't want to load wear too close to the thermocouple because it'll give me a false reading on the controller up here, and so you should really avoid anything coming too close to the thermocouple in the top of the kiln like that. That's not a good, that isn't one that's glazed itself by accident. It's got a bit of a chip on the rim, so I've just put a bit of blue glaze on there to tidy it up. It's one of our mugs actually, and I think I might have been a bit over enthusiastic with the washing up, let's put it like that, and there's a couple of them in there. I'm just touching up on the rim to make them go a bit further, and so there we are, we're all loaded up there, and you can see, you know, that all of these are back-washed on the top, and but not on the bottom because we don't want them flaking. All right, well that's just a quick one on backwash. You can buy it from your pottery supply shop. Not quite sure what's in it. I dare say you can make it yourself, but it comes in a powder form, and it goes quite a long way actually. What did I buy? A kilo or 2 of that, and it'll last for a few years. You don't have to put the backwash on every time you do a firing. I put it on every now and again, so when they start looking a bit tired, I might put something on them. This one's obviously been fired several times with the same backwash on it. It's absolutely fine. You're only going to come back and replace it when it starts looking tatty. Well, you don't need me to tell you that. Okay, thanks for joining us, and I hope to see you again.